Hey there. See? Adam, I am going to do, say a little riff on the everything wrong with videos. I'm going to react and comment on them. Everything wrong with, yeah. That was my way of being clever. I'm not very good at it. So today they just put out the Terminator Genesis everything wrong with video, and well, the movie wasn't great. Some things baffle me that they don't understand. And it reminded me of the Terminator Salvation video they did, where the things in the movie were very explained. And some things that weren't, maybe half things, 40% of the things weren't, but 60% of things were. And that annoys me. And I know it's a riff, I know it's a joke thing, but if you're gonna do something like this, get your facts straight, okay? Like, sometimes they outright ignore their own logic. So I'm gonna do it right now. I have no idea if I'm allowed to do this. Here we go. Everything wrong with Terminator Salvation.
Didn't you just tell us what the title was 40 seconds ago? Yeah, you did. Is this movie for the 420 crowd?
Brother and 2 cops are dead because of me. I'm not looking for a second chance.
A little nitpicky.
I'm not the only one with a death sentence.
But I get it.
Wow, that's a ton of awkward exposition jammed into one line of dialogue. Reading.
This mission is a quick
Reading.
Something we surely discussed before, running into the middle of a war zone. But I'm reminding you of now, just in case there are secret people watching this on a screen we don't know about.
Objective located. There's something else you have to see.
Well, it's not exact, but you better come take a look at this cliche.
Connor, get those men to respond.
Jesus, dude. Not
Well,
only
it's
is
not
that
exact.
unnecessary, since you just gave it. But shouldn't the first thing you're thinking be something is wrong, rather than those non-answering jagoffs are being insubordinate? He's been through a lot, sure, but still, Connor survives this. Half a Terminator somehow reaches up to 6-foot John's shoulder while lying prostrate on the ground, and decides that's the scariest, if not most efficient way to attack him. T-600 officially dies in dramatic fashion as John walks over its body. Marcus, who was in some sort of robot cryosleep, and who was definitely down in that bunker where all of John Connor's soldier buddies just got completely wiped out, is alive and only suffered uncleanliness. Oh, and what do we have here? A dead guy who wears my exact size? Man, this is the luckiest day ever. Futuristic Reigns somehow completely cleaned Marcus of that muddy afterbirth that was...
Who says it's his exact size? I mean, come on. Would it really have to be his exact size?
Was on him just a couple seconds ago. Movie rips off the perfect storm from the perfect storm before it even has a chance to rip off the guy desperate to reach submarine jumps off chopper with no guarantee of rescue thing from the Hunt for Red October. Yeah, Resistance Command Headquarters in a submersible, which I'm sure the machines have no way of tracking whatsoever, right?
What did we find down there? You'll be briefed on these no basis.
Excuse me, what? What possible reason could this guy be withholding information from John in the post-apocalyptic war against the machines? It's not like John can be a double agent in this scenario, leaking information to Skynet.
What did we find down there? We found a solution, Connor, that can end this war once and for all.
And just because I started talking, the screens behind me will somehow know to display information important to this discussion.
Does it work? Will it work? Yes. Have we field tested it? No.
How do you know it will work if you haven't even tested it? Whoa, who the f*** are these people?
You honestly could refer to that as arrogance, but sure enough.
You ever hear of an establishing shot? Damn, surprise committee is surprise. I mean, if you go back, you can see the Asian dude's face in the background, but the whole committee?
Connor, we do this right. The war is over.
This guy literally went from "you jeopardized everything, punk" to "the job is yours, son" in like 67 seconds.
The kill list was intercepted from Skynet. It says everyone in this room will be dead.
Skynet bothers to make a kill list, the purpose of which can only function to be intercepted by human spies. Why make a kill list when your purpose is to simply kill all humans anyway?
Well, whose number?
kill list was a manipulation. That's clear, right? It's all pretty obvious.
For one, an unknown, a civilian. Kyle Reese.
Roll credit. Oh, wait. I mean, dum dum dum. Also, bullshit. In 2018, Skynet cannot possibly know the importance of Kyle Reese, and can't possibly think he's more dangerous than John Connor, unless for some reason they have records of Kyle Reese from 1984. And then we start talking about time paradoxes. How are rebellion heirs?
There is time paradoxes. History was changed prior to the events of this movie, as we saw in Terminator 3. I mean, I go Terminator 3 all you want, okay? But attack that movie, whatever. But this film is following that film's logic. It even references the power cells that they had in T3. Those introduced in Terminator 3. But again, this is in the same universe. I mean, guess what? Yes, there is a time paradox at work here. Mate. It is in the same universe as the first 3 films, and there is time paradoxes at work. That's just a simple fact. Now, for all intents and purposes, they don't know about Kyle from 1984, but they probably know about him from Sarah in the mental institution ranting about him. And they established in Terminator 2 that Sarah had told him that the father of her son was Kyle Reese, as seen by Dr. Silver. His name escapes me at the moment. But yeah. So yes, there is a time paradox at work here. So that doesn't happen.
Even temporary ones, able to set up
and
operate without the machines coming in and nuking everything.
My brother. He didn't make it, did he?
No, he totally made it. And scene. He noticed this shit in a barren fucking wasteland because the script tipped him off.
This is tape number 28 of Sarah Connor to my son John.
But in the Terminator, it was tape 7.
Tape 7, November 10.
And Sarah didn't say these exact things in this exact way. Hey man, they're tapes. They don't suddenly record different than you put into them. Also,
I'm going to say this. It's not out of the question that Sarah re-recorded these tapes, but the movie never says that and it never hints at that, but you know, so it's in line with what's happened in the movies. It's acceptable.
Wait, that's tape number 28 of Sarah Connor.
That's an acceptable
It
thing.
affects your decision to most difficult for me is trying to decide what to tell you and what not to. Should I tell you about your father? Will it affect your decision to send him back in time to protect me?
Also, how did the picture from the first Terminator get zoomed in slightly from the original? The world is a fascinating place. Street urchin ex machina. It's not a Terminator movie unless one of the machines steps on a skull. Somehow this machine has the same terrible aim that regular human bad guys have. Idiot kids somehow still alive invented a Terminator trap that traps Terminators, but keeps them completely alive and can still shoot you.
Come with me if you want to live.
The movie is more interested in callbacks to previous, better films in the franchise than it is in establishing its own awesomeness. You mean they have something set up to fall exactly on this place where this...
There aren't that many callbacks. Genesis has more callbacks.
Terminator just so happens to be right now? Also, Terminators. So advanced you can completely incapacitate them with a half-assed booby trap.
Take it off!
Amazing.
It's a primitive Terminator. Ding.
Take it off!
Amazing soldier Kyle Reese allows Marcus to continue walking towards him in an obvious ploy to steal his gun without firing a shot or backing up.
What happened here?
Judge. Day. Man, Jesus. Are you a robot? What?
How did they just do that? Kyle Reese was just said to be a civilian. He is not an amazing soldier. Ding. I'm gonna get more annoyed with this as this goes on.
How does this building collapse? Did the 8K do something to it? If it can do this, why didn't it destroy all the buildings?
Grab it.
What was the purpose of that? So he can't take the weapon. Big deal. Is that supposed to help him against the Terminators? Isn't simply not being in range to have your weapon taken also a good technique?
Couldn't have been one of these.
Because I've been burned.
Oh, I missed the 39 number 39. The building collapsing. The building is primitive. Sorry. The building collapsed on its own. Structural decay. Not obvious, but I'm just saying.
Yet I am still the most wanted man on the Skynet kill list.
Oh, he's listening to them.
He's just one man on Skynet kill list because he's John's father.
Connor broadcasts this desperate message on the very night Marcus is fixing Kyle's radio. Terminator, convenient coincidence. I love Skynet. They hate
Does
humans,
happen.
want them eradicated, but are generally pretty casual about the whole affair. As opposed to creating however many Terminators it takes to find and kill all the humans, they prefer to keep things competitive. Are there radio stations still playing music after the apocalypse? And if that's a CD, it definitely wouldn't have started playing like that. And a cassette would definitely be dead by now.
I've never driven before!
How did you even get this far then? Lucky as...
We've got time travel. But a tape. No, but a tape's still working? That's just out of the question. Ding.
This tire iron throw ever also disables the Scout immediately like it's made of paper.
The idea here is to stay alive.
Marcus is a Cyberdyne robot. He is super. He likely has enhanced strength. Not exactly out of the question.
I'm driving.
Marcus is a dick. Also, first off, you have no choice but to let Kyle drive under the circumstances. Second off, he just told you he's never driven before and obviously didn't want the job, so what the fuck was that? Yeah, just park that Jeep anywhere, asshole. It's not like a Scout made note of what you're driving and what you look like or anything. Wait, he has a gun, which means they had a gun during the chase with the Scout a minute ago. So why did Marcus need to throw a tire iron at that thing earlier? I want to give this kid points for
That's too
spotting
exact.
this recently falling milk truck.
That's too exact of a shot.
Off clue, but honestly, I'm
But
much
again,
more inclined to
not
send the
again.
movie for allowing someone to take a guzzle of this fucking milk, but still somehow get away and hide before the last milk bottle drop falls. How does a giant machine like this manage to make zero noise until it's time to blindly start grabbing people? Machines have these fucking things at their disposal, but keep sending back humanoid Terminators, because they must not really want John Connor dead, I guess. Jesus, this thing is terrifying. Skynet's main goal is to end humanity. But they're
I'm fairly sure that would cause too much damage. Ding.
taking prisoners? Is this so it wouldn't seem stupid that the giant robot didn't just blow up the 7-Eleven while it had the chance? Giant murder bot, which was able to blow...
Kyle said they took prisoners in the first movie. They'll explain why in this movie. They are replicating human tissue in this movie, so that would be at least part of the reason why they're kidnapping them. Ding.
Finally grab a person hiding in a garage, is unable to detect the large gas tanker headed its way, and doesn't blast it to smithereens. Honestly, I'm shocked these fucking robots weren't able to win the war here in the future, which enabled all these movies in the first place. They look basically indestructible. Also, of course, he'd have motive Terminators that come out of his legs. He probably also has the dogs with the bees in their mouths, so that when they bark, they shoot bees at you. Here's a weird aspect of Terminator salvation. We know Kyle can't die because he has to go back in time to father John. The only person who can change his predestined course he hasn't even met yet. So any danger Kyle is in is moving these scenes. Well, Jesus, man.
Future's already been changed, so Kyle's fate is uncertain. Ding.
Why the fuck didn't this thing just blow them away in the first place, instead of the giant sending motor Terminators to do the job? The number one priority target, Kyle Reese, is simply thrown into a jail. Are they saving him for Voldemort to kill? And why did they spend all that time trying to kill him before? And why are they trying to kill Marcus?
They didn't try to kill him before. They don't want Kyle dead. They want him for bait. They want to use him as bait for John. That's what they took him as a prisoner. Also to fool Marcus.
So they're taking the others prisoner. Is it because they needed to save Kyle and Star from falling out of the sky because they're important to the plot? All I'm saying is, this prisoner is fucking confusing each decision these robots make. And me. Earlier, when Marcus and crew blew up the 7-Eleven, and they thought they blew up the robot, we'll find out later, nope, the robot is pretty unblowable. And obviously the prisoner's holding it in is too, because damn, that was a huge explosion. So now it's really strange that if it's like indestructible metal, an axe can somehow lodge into this thing and prevent Marcus from falling and dying. Giant robot slams Marcus down and...
Fire takes time to burn wood as well, but an axe can still pierce that.
the hard metal from several stories up and doesn't crush him. And yes, I know he's a Cyberdyne robot, but this is more than enough to crush his ass.
They've never come this deep before.
Unless it's not trying to crush him, because it needs him to get to John, which is the case here. Ding.
They're looking for something.
This statement makes it sound like the humans are not only holding their own, but dominating this war. If the machines are too scared to come too far inland and shit, right? How the fuck is that even possible?
Evasive maneuver!
How is it possible? Maybe it has something to do with the knowledge of the future given to them by John. Just a thought.
Movers now!
This order comes 10 seconds too late for the pilot who just died.
He's got a lock on you. Break off.
This seems like the kind of sloppy dialogue someone might write who doesn't know how signal locking works. Well, it sure looks like a machine city in the distance here, which means this line about the machines not wandering this far inland is even more interesting, given that they are setting up shop literally 1.5 miles from inland.
Test the signal. Pray it works.
What the fade to black? Is this a goddamn TV show? That is the most commercial break-like moment I have ever seen in a movie. Jesus. McGee.
Should I?
Sure, that's really important right now. Can he really not grab her and get her on some solid footing before she drops 20 feet to the ground? And yet again, the movie suggests that a person can grab another person in midair like this without that person also falling, or at the very least pulling someone's arm out of socket.
What are you saying? Speak English!
That's racist.
They're gonna kill us. They're gonna kill everyone.
It actually doesn't matter whether they are or aren't killing everyone. The prisoner is ridiculous, but especially if they end up killing these people anyway.
The most important thing that we can do right now is stay alive.
Well, that's happening with or with.
Again, Kyle said that machines took prisoners in the first Terminator. Ding.
Without your input at this point. The most important thing you can do right now is try to escape, or at the very least, divvy up the cigarettes left aboard this thing so everyone has an even amount. Mysterious chick sends Marcus out to find something that can burn in a fucking monsoon with a good tarp and pin it down with a log. You just intentionally draw the machine.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it worked.
They're playing for the prisoners. They're playing for the prisoners. We're gonna level the place.
Even though we find out later this signal is a Skynet
Skip
ruse.
ahead.
Why don't they plan to disable the machines, take the prisoners out, and then blow up the place?
Negative. I told you.
Because of corrupt humans?
Skynet Central is filled with human prisoners.
Which makes zero sense, but whatever.
Damn him. Negative. I told you. Skynet Central is filled with human prisoners.
Which makes zero sense, but whatever.
Damn him.
Again, Kyle Reese said that they took machines took prisoners in the first Terminator. Ding.
The machines can't even detect heat signatures from moving vehicles? Honestly, I'm not sure the machines deserve to win this war. They seem terribly inept at discovering and killing however few humans remained after the global nuclear war. We're about to find out that Marcus is actually a Cyberdyne robot that is practically human. But why did
Of course, they don't deserve to win. Ding.
this mind doesn't absolutely destroy him? Only screenwriter knows. Marcus nearly dies,
Because he's a Cyberdyne robot. Ding.
so it's time for a murky flashback. Because we love seeing things that barely tell the story while also making us set up an appointment to our eye doctors.
Barnes?
Do you think when she said Barnes, she meant does not exist in this dojo? Yes, and much more concerned with how he got here that quickly without anyone noticing.
I can get you in. How? Look at me.
Yeah, but you don't know any of the Skynet protocols. You just now learned you're a robot. What exactly are you expecting to happen here?
I need to find who did.
How would Marcus even know that Skynet has protocols enough to think of that as an objectionable reason? He wouldn't. So therefore, guess what? That comment makes no sense.
this to me.
Ding.
You mean AI in general? Or all the machines? There's not like a single entity. I mean, surely you know this already, right? You're telling me the Resistance has this?
I don't think he'd know specifically. I doubt the average person knows much of anything about the way machines work. Ding. Okay.
This kind of operation, yet the machines aren't able to find it, track it, or explode it? The machines deserve to lose this war. They really, really suck.
Skynet
They do.
has
Ding.
Kyle Reese.
None of these guys even know who Kyle Reese is. Has John shared the story of his improbable birth to everyone else? And do they believe it? Because I'm just putting myself in the shoes of someone who has never heard this story before, and I'm thinking, man, that's the craziest story one of my top men could ever tell me over the radio before we attack Skynet.
You are no longer.
if you'd read the opening and listened to what the general guy said, you know that, yes, John has told people about his interaction with Skynet in the past. Whether that includes Greta's father, I don't know, but he's told them. The general actually says, John Connor, prophesied leader of the resistance. And at the beginning of the movie, they make a thing where they do the little scroll down thing where they said that some people think he's, So there you go. Yes, he knows. I don't know if they know about Kyle Reese, but they know about that he knows.
Hunger, a part of this resistance. I didn't catch that last statement. Neither did I.
Soldiers disobey orders to still follow soldier recently relieved of command because of his obvious moral rightness cliche.
Command.
The Golden Gate Bridge finally succumbed to Skynet after being mercilessly attacked by Apes, Hulk, and Boy. And yeah, this is all a ruse to get John Connor in here, but why are they wasting their time allowing him to do all this instead of just blowing him away right now? Least observant Terminator ever.
We knew you'd be back. After all, it was programmed in you.
What? The only reason why he came back is so he could save Kyle Reese for John Connor. He didn't have any particular predestined draw to this place until the plot kicked in.
To achieve.
I'm fairly sure Kyle Reese says that where Marcus is headed is Terminator territory earlier in the movie. Ding.
What no other machine has achieved before. To infiltrate, find a target, and then bring that target back home to us.
Admittedly, this sounds downright Machiavellian. However, think about how this was achieved. It was all dumb luck. He didn't have any intuition about what he needed to do and who he needed to meet. It was more serendipitous than the movie Serendipity. In fact, let's take a moment to talk about Skynet's plan. They build a machine with human tissue that looks human, but they give it no objective or even memory. Then drop it off in the middle of nowhere and hope that the humans find him and take him in. Then they assume said machine would have a conscience, help the humans, and that he'd help them get into Skynet and send a signal for John to come join him. All so that they can kill John, instead of just programming him to do that very thing.
You did what Skynet has failed to do for so many years.
You can't program a human to do that. Like, not specifically certain people. Now, they probably could have gotten a psychopath had donated his body to his body to science. They probably could have, but this particular guy, probably not. I'm not saying that's against the sin, but
You killed John Connor.
The problem with this movie is we have no idea what John Connor's done yet. At this point, he's merely a well-regarded subordinate in the resistance. He has a radio broadcast that, while important, hasn't turned the tide yet in this war. Still, Skynet perceives John Connor as if they know the events of the last 3 Terminator movies. Something they cannot know. A little bit of background on what this movie's timeline knows and doesn't know would have helped, especially since John is our main character and knows the entire story. Hell, a lazy narration read-along would have sufficed, but we spent so much time on Marcus, the movie didn't have time to do that. The lighting in this building really keeps...
it's just an assessment of the facts. We know the past has changed. We know that their mainframe was based off of the chip of the original Terminator in Terminator 1, which knew about John Connor. We know that the TX, the female Terminator, in Terminator 3, hacked into the system just before Skynet, just as Skynet was beginning to go online, and we know that the Terminator at the end of Terminator 3 was left out in the open after the bombs dropped for Skynet to use for parts, which included the chip, again, the chip. Okay? Which, again, this is likely why they're so advanced in their time frame. Ding.
Is everything PG-13? CGI Arnold is worse than that Ang Lee Hulk bullshit. This was a super long con by the machines, but they still like suspense enough to toy with John Connor instead of killing him. Why is this chip so easy for him to access? Plus, Skynet allows him to do this because they figure they've won anyway. But in terms...
The throwing thing is true enough, but it's something that even the James Cameron movie was susceptible to. And Terminator 2, at the end of Terminator 2, when the liquid metal Terminator is in the form of Sarah, it just stands there. It honestly just stands there as John is like, And at the beginning of the movie, when the Terminator comes back through time to help, and he steals the guy's clothes, he does not kill anybody, even though he was attacked by humans after asking for clothes. Which some would say, oh well, obviously he was pre-programmed not to kill humans. Which if that were true, he wouldn't have to be told to not kill humans by Dawn in the past. If he was told in the future, so there's no reason for him not to be killing humans. Also, even James Cameron in the audio commentary for that movie says pretty much there's no reason why the Terminator isn't killing these people.
Terminator 3, they were killing any threat to their existence, and it's amazing they turn into arrogant comic book supervillains in this one and don't simply turn them off or some shit.
On Earth, there's so many of them.
And yet, they'll only send one of them back to kill the man they hate so much. Also, it's a wonder any humans are still alive.
I've seen in all the movies, so dang.
After this, no? It wouldn't be a climax of a Terminator film without the hero fighting
These new Terminators are just now being built. Dang.
one of the robots in some sort of factory with flames all around it. You know, we saw the earlier T-600s being formed, basically with guns ready, but none of the T-800s are. It's not like they're going to send all of them back in time, so why is that? Plus, so many fiery places to...
They do have to mold skin to them, but that would be hard with guns. Ding.
throw John, it decides to phone it in and go with the I've got you, so now I'm going to randomly throw you somewhere plan? Oh, man, I'm sure you totally knew exactly where this fight was taking place to dramatically jump down into it right now. Plus, the Terminator is somehow not breaking John's neck, something it has the power to do in seconds, but decides not to do. Remind me again, why is there only one of these things in a factory devoted to making these things, chasing after John? Once again, Terminator doesn't...
It's a prototype. Ding.
Seal the deal with another robot it's fighting and decides not to throw Marcus into the molten steel just to be sure. Does Skynet really not have air defense systems at their main base? Or is this...
The Terminator only knows... I don't think a Terminator would know how that would work. They just kill things and that's that. They're not going to walk up to them and kill them some more after they've already been killed. Ding.
Makes this look easy. Somehow, this Terminator is still going, despite the fact that 1990s era molten metal killed both a T-800 and a T-1000. Guess this molten metal here in this movie just isn't hot enough. Oh wow, good thing.
How's that a sin? You just said you guess it isn't hot enough. Also, its prototype likely is stronger, but again, you just said that it's likely not hot enough. While the T-800, whatever, while the Terminator in the second movie was lowered into it and was held under there. Now this does affect it, but again, not in the same way. Ding.
These pipes shoot coolant that can definitely stop a Terminator in its tracks if you happen to be in this very situation. Homemade AED. You were stabbed through the heart. Can you believe that? Without knowing if they're in the clear, John goes ahead and presses the button that causes a massive explosion that could easily have killed everyone in this helicopter. I guess that's it then. No more movies necessary. Skynet's dead. It's over. Right? Right?
This heart can't take it.
Well, I just so happen to have that very thing, so I could donate it to him.
Say what?
Heart transplant surgery is probably pretty easy out here in the desert wasteland tent, so...
What is it that makes us human?
I don't know, but I have a feeling this narration is going to say it perfectly.
Are you professional or not? Do I fucking walk around and rip that? No, shut the fuck up, Bruce. Do I want? No! No! Don't shut me up. And understand. Oh, good for you.
This is crazy. Kill calories. Reset the future. No junk on her.
Which happens, Dad's leave. No need to be a pussy about it. Here's what I need.
It's not who I am, underneath. But what I do defines me.
Chaplain's dad's leave. No need to be a pussy about it. Here's what I... Chaplain's dad's leave. No need to be a pussy about it. Here's what...
Defines me. But what I do defines me. Disassembled.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
Mhm.
I love you.
I know.
Yeah. I missed that. I forgot that I know one. So that was this thing. Relatively low level. Me just commenting on a everything wrong with video. I hope you enjoyed it. This wasn't nearly as fun as I thought it would be. See y'all. God bless y'all. God bless your families and everyone else in your lives. God bless everyone.